Yo, you already see the two faces on your screen. The two individuals that are here right now that are ready to cause chaos for you. It's Bruh
Yes.
Me Goes Podcast, and you already know we come through every week with an episode for y'all. And today, got to
For
talk a
the
little
people.
bit of wrestling. You already know Money in the Bank results. Little recap against that. Ryan Garcia. Uh, Definitely a little breakdown analysis of what's actually going on with him. Um, why Rob doesn't believe in the Guardians. Um, a very good take that I feel on why there's a love loss in free agency for the Lakers and the MLB All Stars that we, the fans, voted in and the reserves. And we're going to talk about all that right now. Sit down, get ready. Bramigos Podcast.
Yes.
Let's do this, Rob. Rob,
Go. Bruh.
Money in the Bank.
Money, money, money,
Uh,
money.
Money. So you already know. Money in the Bank, one of WWE's just great programs that they put on the regular. Um, I feel like this was a really good Money in the Bank last night, Rob.
Yep.
Some people may feel different. I kind of see, you know, because we're gonna go in on the angle here on a second. Um, the ladies. Let's talk those first. The
Mhm.
ladies. So you feel like the ladies tried to, lead that mark last night?
They fucked each other up. Like when I say it felt like they were just like, you know what? Not enough women have bruises. Not enough women have concussions. Let's we need to basically bolster the number of healthcare, like within our ranks. And
Yeah.
they did that. They fucked each other up. Zoe Stark, how many fingers am I holding up? Like, like her cabeza is like boom. She was trying to see a Selena concert last night. Like
Oh yeah.
that girl kept fucking getting hit. Kept like it. That shit was wild. Like it was like everything she did was gonna basically get to the point where she was gonna need some kind of aftercare.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. But congrats, absolutely congrats to Tiffany Stratton from winning Money in the Bank. I think that I have I would say without being mean, I think she's gonna be all right. I think that she didn't have feel like she won it by surprise. Like her reaction to basically winning the Money in the Bank, it didn't feel as though I wouldn't say she's not ready for the moment. It felt like it was kind of early,
You felt like it
and
was
and
early.
and early for her because
Okay.
she, you can tell somebody's tone when they basically are like they got that confidence down. And I know that there was a video that Chelsea was kind of fanning Tiffany Stratton down. So I say that, and I know that any kind of comments could basically hurt people and do on it take people off the edge or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't mean this in any kind of maliciousness. It just felt like she was kind of early, and it's just like she's kind of got to build herself into being the possibly next world champion.
Yeah.
Which I think she has the talent. I think she has the character. I think she has things down. It might have just been a bad night, but I think that going forward, yeah, I think she's gonna be good. But it just felt like a rookie basically winning it, which that's what she is for the most part.
Yeah.
But but how'd you feel about it, bro?
It was interesting. I'm always paying attention to like Naomi splits, two ladder climb. It did feel like they were taking a lot of shots though. It
Mm-hmm.
it 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 kind of felt like they were trying to be more men type, a little bit more mannish or physical. We're gonna say physical. We're gonna say that they wanted to be more physical with what went on. But I like it though. It gives you something else to look at because a lot of the times I feel like when we look at women's matches, some of them were dainty in a way, but I feel like the women now are like getting after it now. Like I feel like they're well in these situations they're getting after it more. They're embracing the match that they're in.
say most of the time they do kind of fuck each other up, but this one just felt like especially fucking each other up because it was just like I know like with Lyra Valkyria's spot where she tried to do the tornado DDT and just
Yeah,
completely missed the rope.
yeah,
Like it was just like she like it ended up being to where it's like she landed the way that she landed on the ladder, it was just like they were trying to basically be like, oh, how can I flick? Because I mean, I would say the other Money in the Bank matches, ladder matches with the women, like they do go all out. Like there's a lot of stunts, a lot of high spots, and everything like that. Even the Elimination Chamber matches with
yeah.
them, but
Elimination
it
chamber
was
for
just
sure.
like, it felt like they were, to your point, like just straight going for, I want to fuck you up as much as possible. Not I want to fuck you up in the flow of the match, fuck you up.
Yeah.
I want to fuck you up to where now you in traction, fuck you up.
So
Like it felt more raw
so here's my
versus like
thing. Not to cut you
formed.
up. I feel like they called a
Yeah.
lot more high spots. It
Mm,
was either I felt like it was more high spots or it was more OMG moments that we tried to get out of this last night. But I'm not against it though. I'm not
mm,
against it. I'm not against it. And I don't know how everybody else feels about it. Maybe some people might not like it, but I enjoyed them really, really getting that. It was
mm,
something, it was above the norm of where they've been to me in the past. I feel like it was above the
mm,
norm. So above the norm for me is always good. You know? I'm waiting for, and I know it's not gonna happen anytime soon, but maybe it will. I'm waiting for us to have that next big. I'm waiting for the women to have those moments that the Hardys and the Dudleys and you remember like
mm,
the spear, the middle of the ring and all of that. I'm waiting for them to have that moment because I feel like the minute that they're gonna have that moment, it's gonna cement whoever comes up with it or whoever does it. It's gonna cement that women's ladder match in
mm.
history forever. Because I can
Yeah.
tell you now, those two Money in the Bank, well, those two TLC ladder matches with the Hardys and I want to say it was Edge and Christian in there and the
And the
Dudleys,
Dudleys. Yep.
those matches will forever live in my head as a wrestling fan. And I'm like, dude, this is the shit. And I'm waiting. I feel like the women with what I saw last night, I think that's the next step. You just need the people who are going to say we're going to make this our moment
Hmm.
and this is going to be because I'm trying to think who else was on that card that year for whenever they had those two spots. I can't even remember because that's the
So
matches that I remember the most of all for those TLC cards. But I know that the cards were really good though.
yeah, yeah,
I
like
know that though.
the one where Edge speared Jeff Hardy off the thing, that was WrestleMania
There
17.
you go.
So like which was basically the arguably the best WrestleMania ever, period. You know, like yeah, so I mean it was like some hot spots. And you could see like in the with the men's ladder match, like Gable looking like he was going with that spot with Jay, but just like it seemed like Jay didn't know what he was going for, and Gable was just kind of hanging up there for a while, and
Mhm.
it looked weird. Like it looked like, okay, is Jay gonna try to do the thing, or is it just gonna be okay? He's just hanging up there and just dangling, and nothing's happening. But uh, Gable, like that motherfucker almost like shattered his collarbone because it was basically like he fell however many feet it was, landed almost flat and basically stood up and got speared by Jay. It was just like one of those things like, okay, this is a new interpretation of it, but it's also like, why do that? Why do that interpretation? Because that's not much better, I guess. I don't know. Like it just seemed more
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, it does seem more dangerous. I don't know. I'm I'm questioning sometimes whenever I watch those pay-per-views how much thought the teams put in. See, we know now from the older guys that they used to
Mm,
talk and meet and they wanted to steal the show. And I'm
yeah.
wondering how much of that happens now with this generation, you know? I'm just wondering, like, does that happen? do they kind of walk through it? Are they really high spotting and wanting to steal the show? Or are they more, we're gonna call this on the fly? That type of thing.
Right.
That's
That
what I'm
yeah.
wondering. That's definitely what I'm
Call it in
wondering
the
for them.
call it in the ring, brother.
Yeah, yeah, that old call it in the ring. Now going more into Money in the Bank, Rob, is levels to that shit? Is levels to it?
So so in case you guys, I would say, didn't see, and this might be a spoiler alert, so earmuffs, even though we just kind of spoiled the Money in the Bank,
Yeah,
the first match. Um Drew McIntyre was the Money in the Bank winner for the men's, and basically he chose to cash it in at Money in the Bank for the world title. Because as you guys remember, Damian Priest and Seth Rollins were going for the world title in that match. So, which and if you guys heard the press conference with Triple H, he talked about this specific moment. But essentially, Damian Priest reverses a suplex, Seth Rollins reverses another suplex, and basically puts Damian Priest in the Falcon Arrow. As Seth Rollins basically is pinning him, Damian Priest never kicks out. So it's 1, 2, and you can see the ref go down, and you can see it was like, oh shit, this wasn't supposed to happen. Or it, because I was thinking as it happened, I thought there was supposed to be a timing issue. Like as the 2 came down, he was never supposed to basically, or the Drew McIntyre's music was supposed to go off as it did. But it was like 1, 2, and then he held it, and it basically was just like, oh shit, Damian Priest really got pinned, and he's not the world champion anymore. But be that as it may, Drew McIntyre comes down, basically cashes in, it becomes a triple threat, all that. And so essentially, he Drew McIntyre's, hitting Seth Rollins, he's basically doing all this stuff, and then gets, somehow his whole thing stops. Punk comes out. Punk then proceeds to hit him with a chair, chokes him with cables, hit him with the belt. Like he does a lot of shit to basically make sure Drew doesn't retain the world championship. Gets to the point where, you know, Damian Priest comes up, chokeslam or South of Heaven, chokeslam, Drew McIntyre, 1, 2, 3, Damian Priest retains. So as you guys know, or may know, Seth Rollins, or actually Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre do not like each other in any way. They all have their own specific beefs with each other, but they all hate CM Punk. They all hate, Drew. They all hate Seth. So now this, to me, sets up a absolutely amazing triple threat match at SummerSlam. If this is the case, because at first I was thinking like, okay, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, that's gonna move mountains. But now that you add Seth Rollins to that mix, it's absolutely phenomenal. And to that point, Seth Rollins basically is probably a little bit more healthier than CM Punk, so at least it gives less lift for CM Punk for a match against a Drew McIntyre, because like a lot of the time, basically Seth could do a lot of shit. I can't remember what CM Punk said about him being cleared, so if he even is gonna be able to go to SummerSlam. But be that as it may, if he is and he's not 100%, Seth Rollins could do a lot because CM Punk gets hurt a lot.
yeah,
CM Punk gets hurt all it seemed like every fucking time. That man's made out of comic book paper and glass, but
pretty much.
it is to where Drew basically, after his hating ass, basically tried to spoil something else, gets fucked up again, loses the Money in the Bank briefcase, and now is back to square one where he was at anyway. And that's why I said there's levels to this hate shit, because CM Punk basically has been well timed. Did it in Scotland, did it here in Canada, not here in Canada, but did it in Canada. Basically, has been well timed at getting Drew at his own shit. He's like basically it's one of those, it's like the Jay-Z line. Drew is making this shit a hot line. CM Punk's making this shit in hot song. He's
Yeah,
winning the war here. Like he's the one that's actually doing this shit. And so it's I'm not a hater. And you guys know me. You guys have been watching this show for a very long time. You know that I am lover all over anything else. But I do see, as far as from my two eye vantage point, a hater that basically is not at the level of another hater. Like, he needs to bow down.
Uh,
Drew does need to bow down somebody that's greater than him or hating better than him. You know, like that's the thing. Like, CM Punk is using that old hater wisdom to basically be that person that's really getting at Drew. Like, hating rightly, hating efficiently, like,
hating with a purpose.
basically with a purpose, something better than just overall hating. Like, I don't like just hating for the sake of hating. I don't like, hey, you suck. No, man. Say something eloquent. Say something that people are gonna remember. Say something that sticks to the bones. Don't
Mm.
just flippantly or just crappingly hate. Like, hate with a purpose. Hate with some kind of, like, hate with your mind, man, not just the heart. The
Man,
heart can't speak. But you do something that basically gets to the hate, like, really sets the hate in. If you're gonna do
hate
the shit,
creatively.
do the shit. Like, don't just basically do something or say something that's very much just crap. Be somebody when you hate. Hate well. Hate great. Hate less filler. Like, just do some kind of, like, good hating. Don't just do crappy hating.
Yeah. Now, along with the varied iterations of Rob telling you how to hate, as a lot of wrestling fans should know, John Cena says he's
Mm-hmm.
calling it quits 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I mean, this is a Seth Rollins shirt, but you know what I mean.
yeah, so with Cena calling it quits for 2025, I'm guessing he won't make any appearance in 2025. Um, or is
Um,
that going to be his last year of appearances?
yeah, he said that 2025 is going to be the end. It's kind of, I won't say it's kind of confusing. He said basically they don't have it squared out just yet.
Hmm.
Um, Said he did say that this Royal Rumble is going to be his last, this WrestleMania is going to be his last, but he didn't say that, like, his career is going to end at WrestleMania. It's basically going to be throughout the year of 2025. So it's basically anytime between right now and 31 December 2025 is going to be
The
Cena
end of him.
possibly making. Yeah, so, like, he said about 30 to 40 dates is what they're looking at. So that could be anything, because, like, it could be he does the go home shows, he does the some WrestleMania Royal Rumble, probably SummerSlam and Survivor Series, like the big four,
Yeah.
maybe Money in the Bank next year. That'd be 5 dates. And that's basically what it is. Madison, if they got a Madison Square Garden show, he'll probably be there too. Um, yeah, so it wasn't laid out what, when, and where he's going to be in the next year, but he
Hmm.
also was like, he wants to basically be on the. It's going to sound like he wants to be on the first episode of Raw once it hits Netflix, which is going to be January 1st. I
Hmm.
think January 1st and January 2nd. Um, and so he wants to basically be on there. So, um, yeah, and I would say I saw people saying, like, he's going to basically be they should basically give him his 17th world title. So here's what I would say, and here's Rob Bird's opinion. I'm a firm believer on going out on your back.
Yeah.
When it comes to wrestling, I am a very much a firm believer you go out on your back, because a win for you as you are leaving out does nothing for anybody else. Now,
Yes.
granted, if somebody has a good showing, if, say, it's a rookie that basically, or up and comer that's going to do that ruthless aggression to John Cena,
Yeah.
so that person can basically be somebody. I mean, sure, because I mean, John Cena did lose that match at
Yeah,
least,
he did.
but as far as who I think, or the people that I'm thinking, that basically could use that. I think that it'd be better for them for if he lost. And if he, because I mean, I don't think he needs a 17th world title, because the thing about it is people have said that 16 might not be the actual number.
Yeah.
I've heard it theorized as 20. I've heard it theorized as 21, 22 world titles that Ric Flair had. 16 is just the number that we say, but it wasn't. But I think it's kind of in flux on what the
Yeah.
actual number is. So saying that Cena needs the 17th personally, but doesn't mean anything to me, because he is the greatest of all time. I don't think there's anything that Cena has done everything that I think Cena has done has been much more than Hogan, Ric Flair, The Rock, Stone Cold, all these guys that basically are on that top tier of you are the dude, you've been the dude kind of things, because he's had the Make-A-Wish stuff, he's had the world titles.
Yep.
The biggest thing I would say is he's been the biggest heel, or he was the biggest heel for a good 10 years, because he was the guy that basically people were like, you need to do this. You need to turn heel. You need to basically do this. Like, the one thing about a heel is that he doesn't do what you want him to do. He or she doesn't do what you want them to do. So if you're telling them they need to turn heel, that should be the opposite of what they want to do. And I remember Baron Corbin saying this exact thing when everybody was making fun of him for the waiter outfits. He's like, I want to do that more, because that's something that you don't like. Doing something that you don't like is what a heel is supposed to do. That's not supposed to be the person you love to hate. It's the person you hate to hate. Like, you person you just really just don't want there. Like, really, like, want them to not be there, but want them to lose. So John Cena basically being like, you guys want me to be bad guy? No, man, I'm gonna stay good. That's You guys are gonna boo me for basically being a good guy? Okay, then I'm getting boos. That's heel work, bro. Like, that's the counter culture, and that's the one of the mind fuck about things with Cena that is like people don't really understand. Like, people just like, oh, I want you to be bad because I want you to be bad. It's like, no, I'm going to be good because you want me to be bad. And that's heel. Like, that's either way. John Cena being what he has been and what he, kind of the guy that he's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, he knows the business. He knows what's best for the business. I think he's going to basically be like, this is something that I need to do for them. He lost a Theory when Theory didn't deserve to basically win that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything before, during, or after to basically look like he should be the guy that basically beat John Cena in any form or fashion on any stage. But Cena did the job, not well, but did the job, and basically almost sandbagged him, really, but did the job, left, and basically came back just now.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this. Even though we don't know when the final end date for John Cena is going to be, I have a top 5 list. Granted, I have some OLI, some outside looking in. Shout out to Love Is Tar Show. I have some outside looking ins that I think you guys might like. But these are the people that I think, or my list of people that I think should be in contention to basically beat John Cena in this last match. You ready, bro?
Okay.
And I want to know what you think about some of these. So I'm gonna start out with some OLIs. So my first OLI is The Miz.
Okay.
Reason being is that, Miz beat John Cena at WrestleMania in the main event. I think The Miz and John Cena, a program between two of the biggest Hollywood crossover stars that WWE has had, I think will be a good kind of mixture and a good, storyline for them to have. So that's one of the first ones that I would say. And I'm gonna finish my OLIs, and then I'm gonna get your take on it, bro.
Okay.
My next one, Obafemi, excuse me. So Obafemi, in case y'all haven't watched, and I haven't really watched a ton of him either. He's a hot nuclear hot star in NXT. Kind of, gives people that Monty Brown vibe. For the people that know about Monty Brown, or
Yeah.
go back to Montel, not Montel, what was he in WWE? Um, I can't remember, but Monty Brown,
Yeah,
for my TNA watchers, old school TNA watchers, he basically has that kind of vibe to him, just a big ass powerhouse, crazy athleticism, crazy charisma, just that alluring talent that somebody like John, I think, can work with and be like, okay, I get where you got. Here's where you're going to elevate with me and basically become bigger than you've ever been. You
right.
know, like this is something that basically I think something be good for him. Another one who's not in WWE right now, but people are rumoring him to be in coming soon. Zilla Fatu. And so I know a lot of you will be like, who is Zilla Fatu? Granted, you might know the last name Fatu, all the thousand Fatus, which is like the Wayne's family in wrestling.
Yes, they are.
Like, he is the son of Umaga. He's actually somebody that basically has been wrestling, been coming up. Like I said, been rumored to basically be a future member of the Bloodline, all that kind of stuff. Uh, but the son of Umaga basically going against John Cena would be an excellent kind of trip down memory lane. You can basically bring back the guy with the hat, his manager.
Yeah.
That would be something that would be, I think, would be very perfect for John Cena as he's going out. Another person that I think would be good, R-Truth, childhood hero versus his versus or childhood hero versus childish person. R-Truth, I think, would have a great program with John Cena. Whenever they want to do it, even if it's not his last match, I do want to see it. I want to see what R-Truth could do. He's the funniest dude in wrestling. Period.
Oh, easily,
Funniest
easily.
cat in wrestling. Like, I think that would be something that would, I think everybody would love. So what do you think about my OLI list?
Okay, so the Miz, I can definitely see if we're gonna talk going out on your back. Miz, I'm gonna say R Truth. Maybe the R Truth one is gonna be tricky if he goes out on his back. R Truth.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Miz,
yeah.
for sure, I could see it. Oba. So I've seen Oba wrestle some. I feel like for Oba, I think it would have to be the ruthless aggression angle. I think that
Mhm.
you let Cena go over,
Yeah,
but you let him have a very good showing. Okay.
absolutely. That's a
Um,
great point.
and I'm looking at some of the other ones you had. Randy.
Hold on. Let me go with my list first, and I and
Okay.
I because I want to do this in a certain order, and I and,
Okay.
and this is not my, this is a top five, but I would say outside of the number one, any of these could fluctuate for me. So
Okay.
let me start with my first one. So, like, let me start with Mr. CM Punk, who we just talked about earlier.
Hmm.
So CM Punk, to me, his greatest rival.
Yeah.
Like, that's the guy that's been the everything about CM Punk's look, everything about CM Punk's attitude, everything about CM Punk being what he is in the times that he worked with John Cena. I think he's the perfect perfect villain, if you want to call him a villain, or anti-hero for John Cena. Is very much not entirely prim and proper, but just like Captain America like person to him. Like, it's kind of like CM Punk is kind of like that Iron Man,
Yeah.
like not necessarily the alcoholic that Iron Man was, but like somebody that's more edgy, has a good heart to him, but somebody that's abrasive that you can't really wrap your arms around.
Yeah.
Like somebody that's like, okay, I like you, but I don't love you, especially compared to like a Cena. So that would be the guy. That'd be guy that I would have is there. My next one, like you just said, Randy Orton. So Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, have this be who was a rival at Cena at one point,
Yes, he
at
was.
one point as well, but have him, even though he, right now he's a face or whatever, have him go back to that Legend Killer roots and really kill the legend. Like, have him be the guy to kill John C, kill
Yeah.
John Cena.
To write him off. Yeah.
you know right. And so that is something that I think people would love. And I think he can always, like, Randy Orton could always tap into that guy and be that. Because I mean, you saw, I don't know if anybody saw like the Peacock Evil uh thing that they did as far as like with the heels. Like, he can always tap into that. He's a guy, the consummate professional, can always get back there.
Yeah.
The next guy I would like to say, Braun Breaker. And kind of for the same reasons that you talked about with Obafemi when it comes to ruthless aggression. Because everything that they put Braun Breaker as is basically about ruthless aggression.
Mm-hmm.
So like with him and basically everything that like he has done, I think that ruthless aggression angle and basically that guy to basically break Cena in half and send him packing, I think he can actually do that.
Yeah.
The next dude I would say, even though I don't know if anybody else is gonna really feel this, Cody Rhodes. And main reason Cody Rhodes is top babyface now versus top babyface then. And basically, guy that has had history. Cena, I think, has done work with Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody, I mean, he knows what to do to basically make a match big. Like, these are two guys that know how to get you to the tent, to the big match. And so them having promo battles, I don't think Cody is up to Cena's standard, but I think them having promo battles would be absolutely excellent. And I think it will be great. But the number one dude, and I ain't walking off this one. The number one dude that I want to see put the nail in Cena's coffin, and I don't really care who has any objection to this. Logan Paul. Logan Paul is the perfect candidate to basically beat and end John Cena's career. And here's the reasons why. One, he's the current U.S. champion. Calls himself the greatest U.S. champion of all time. What was Cena's first title?
U.S.
Ding, ding, ding. He was basically that was his jumping off point, is that U.S. title, making the spinner U.S. title, all of that. Logan Paul is just enough asshole to basically get a great match out of Cena. And Cena, I think, knows how big of a talent he is and will
Mm-hmm.
work well with him as well. It's young versus old. It's bad versus good. It's, snot-nosed kid, even though he's not a snot-nosed kid,
Yeah.
versus the old guard. Like, it's the perfect combination of styles, perfect combination of personalities, perfect combination of just people that you can basically have as far as a match like this. It's kind of what they were trying to get at with Austin Theory and Cena, is basically that young versus old talent versus new talent. Like, this is much better because Logan Paul is a better wrestler and a better personality than Austin Theory, but also he has that star power that people are going to want to come see Logan Paul versus John Cena. They're going to want to see that. And so that would, I think, be the number one. I'll cry on this hill. That's the number one match I want to see as far as John Cena last match. That's the guy. That's the dude. That's who my pick is. But what do you think about my list?
Okay, so first I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start first with the Logan Paul. Are we putting
Mm.
Logan over?
Yeah,
We putting
Logan's
Logan
been
over?
over.
Okay,
Logan.
so here's my only thing with this. If we go with Logan, I like the setup that you got for it. I would want to see. See, Logan is a tough one. I'd want to see Logan go over, but at the same time, I can see him losing the job. I can see them having a
Mm.
blockbuster match and John taking the win and going out. It is certain people on this list. If you put them in there, I feel like John has to go over. I feel like if it's Oba, Braun, Logan, and maybe R-Truth too. Only because of
Mm.
R-Truth's comedy status. I could see him
Mm.
losing to the Miz. I could see us giving Zilla the push coming in because he's a Fatu. Look, that's a family to me that has been around so long that I could see him going out to push them. I'm not even gonna hate on that one if he did. CM Punk, depending upon how this thing ends with him and Drew and all of that, we see how this would carry over in him. but that would also be a good run. That would also
Hmm.
be a good run. Um, Cody, the promos on a promo standard, it would either have to be Cody or CM Punk. Them
Hmm.
going back and forth with each other because Cody, babyface versus babyface, well, babyface on babyface, I could see this going very far. And as far as like the titles go, if we're gonna give him 17 and that's the quote unquote record, like you said, this number is we nobody knows this number. It's probably in the
Yeah.
20s. Hell, Ric Flair couldn't tell you. Ric Flair just go on 16 because that's what he has there. And in reality, I think it's probably close in the 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
But
1 sec. So from what I just looked it up, says from 25 years later, the site basically it says 16 times the world champion, most decorated mainstream. This statement understates his claim that he has unofficial 26 world title reigns from 1981 to 2000.
okay, so there you go. So let's say we roll with the 16, right? Let's say we roll
Yep.
with the 16. This is what I would personally do. And I know you guys are gonna be like, these dudes are wrestling nerds, whatever. We'll pick it up on the
Well,
backside of the show, okay? But um if he had to go over and win, this is what I'd say. Let him go over because Cody got the belt right now, right?
right. A good old bill. Yeah.
Well, so okay, so he'd have to beat Cody, or Cody would have to lose. It would have to go on somebody else. John would have to win it, and then it would go back. Okay, so I just had a brainstorm. Okay, bam. So, are we willing to sacrifice Cody to a up and coming guy right now? Are we willing to give a up and coming guy right now the belt, at least for a little bit?
I don't see against. I'm not against it.
Okay, so let's bring in Zilla because he's a Fatu, and I know that's gonna sound like I'm just being biased about giving this family the belt. But let's say we
Mhm.
give him the belt. We give Zilla the belt. He goes in, and then let's say we go from Zilla to Cena. Cena gets 17. And then if he's gonna go out on his back, he goes out on his back to Cody again. Okay. I could do that. Logan, if it's a US title shot, I'm cool with him going out on his back. Like him telling Logan I'm coming back to get my belt or some shit like that. Or even if they have an exchange of the belt and have like 2 or 3 matches or something, you know. Let's say they have a
Yeah.
trilogy going out and have a big one, you know, I could see that happening. The up and coming guys, if they're gonna put on a really good show and go out on their back to Cena, you have to elevate them at that point.
Hmm.
Oba really is a Monty. He is like a clone of Monty.
He's a can't miss.
Yeah,
Like
and if we're gonna go ruthless aggression style or bringing in another quote unquote era off of a guy who had ruthless aggression, it could be him. Him, maybe Braun Break also. I could
yeah.
see doing it those two. The older guys, I feel like our older guys need to be somewhere helping somebody else. I just
Mm.
feel like it is, unless it's either CM Punk, yeah, because those three are all good candidates. CM Punk because of all of the beef that they had, The
Yep.
Miz, them two going at it, Randy Orton being a legend killer. Okay, it's those are all good candidates. R-Truth, I'm sorry, unless he's gonna smack you up and we're gonna have like 24/7 title. Now, I won't lie to you. I see WWE, you crush so much good shit. R-Truth has said before that he loved to work with John. If you could have gave those two some sort of run, I'd love it. Even if it's not against each other, even if it's them two working together, you know?
World Tag Team Title Run.
Yes, yes. Just give it to him. And
Yeah.
if you take our idea, we're gonna know where the hell this shit came from, all right? Because I know nobody in creative has that good of a mind to think of that on the fly except me and Rob. So I just want to
Here's
point that
another.
out.
Well, you want to steal another one because I want to basically see and I want to make this shit happen. So our truth, John Cena, if y'all listening, I want them to replicate the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair thing. Like you remember, like at WrestleMania,
Oh
Shawn
yeah,
Michaels
I'm
doing
sorry.
the "I love you."
Oh,
Like
that would be
I
gangster.
want to see our truth, even though our truth I think is older.
Yeah,
I want to
I want to
see.
say he is.
Our truth is like I want to say damn near 50. I gotta look that
Our
up.
truth
But I
is
want to see our
older.
truth do that to John Cena. I I I want that more
No,
than
no,
anything.
no, 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 no.
No shit. Our truth is 52.
Look. I got one better for you. I got one better for you. David. I know we got to move on. What if he goes to do the "I love you"? He goes to hit his move. Cena reverses. Attitude adjustment in the middle of the ring for the win to go.
Uh,
I'm just calling it a finish. That would be
uh,
so. If y'all steal my idea, I want something.
uh,
I want something for
it's
me and
something,
Rob.
just something.
Give us something. Put together a package if you're gonna steal my finish. Okay, just give me a package of stuff. Some
Uh,
autographs would be nice. You know, yeah,
just a little bit,
just a little. But I think
but
that would be something to just. Phew.
but but also just for y'all, our truth is 52 and John Cena is 47. I didn't know that shit. I'm just looking at that shit now. Like our truth is 52. I thought he was in his 40s. I thought he was like high
Them
40s.
dudes are
That
there,
nigga's
man.
52
Them
and
dudes are
still
up
doing
there.
what he's doing.
Dudes are up there. That would be
That's
great. That
nuts.
would be a nuts finish. Just oh my god. I love you and then reverse if oh my god.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would that would be amazing. I'm so sorry that we killing y'all with wrestling and shit today. So we're gonna move
Yeah.
on. We're gonna move on.
That's
So look, Ryan Garcia
yep.
expelled WBC. Okay, Rob, I gotta go in on this for a second.
Go ahead.
WBC, I feel like you're failing a person because of what you just did. Okay, there have been multiple signs of something is wrong with Ryan for a while for
Mm-hmm.
multiple things that he's done. I feel like I told you, this was the perfect reasoning for them to quote unquote expel him. He had the hotel
Yep.
incident. He has the George Floyd rant. He gave him enough strikes to say, okay, we're gonna do this to you now. WBC and Oscar De La Hoya, I'm gonna call your name too because you were the one I
Yep.
condemn Ryan's words. Okay, I'm proud of you for condemning hate speech. But what I'm not proud of you for doing is A, not paying him, B, not making sure that he was mentally taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to be held accountable. There is no more, I'm gonna let it pass. Um, boxers do have the tendency to act erratic at times. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
why is nobody checking in mentally on these guys? I feel like y'all failed them in that a lot. No matter what anybody says, y'all failed them on that. Because if
Yeah.
you guys were truly about the sport and truly about making sure that these guys were okay, whenever he went left on social media, hey Ryan, are you okay? Hey Ryan, can we bring you in for an evaluation? Don't just let it be a quote unquote banned substance and then this, and this, and now all of a sudden we're going to expel you. Okay? That shouldn't be the case at all.
Yep.
There's no there's a lot of money being passed around boxing, and instead of you guys, you who sit on the World Boxing Council, instead of you guys having a system put in place to check up on these guys, you guys aren't doing that. You're using and you're making the money and you're doing the advertisements, and who is really checking in? And if y'all do check in, where's the proof? I need to
Yep.
see something because I don't believe a lot of you. Because a lot of you shoot smoke out your behinds and just I feel like y'all say we checking in, but we're not checking in on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all aren't. I don't believe it. What do you think, Rob?
No, I'm 100% with you. Like when we talked about it like before the show, I was thinking to myself, yeah, they went to the death penalty pretty quick because when when we were talking about it, I remember thinking to myself, yeah, like boxers, fighters, they go erratic. Like they do a lot of different things that just are antisocial to say the least. And with what Ryan did last time, it was just or this most recent time, it seems like he's doing things for the sake of doing them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of those things like he just can't get right. Like you're putting undue pressure, undue weight on yourself for what reason? Like what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You are, you just granted you just got your, win revoked, but you're doing all these different things that aren't helping you. You just got dragged out of a fight last night. You know, like what is going on with you, dude? Like, sit your ass down somewhere. I know he said he's going to rehab, but it's just like, yeah, like Nate said it best. What are you guys doing to protect? Just not even just as a human, like just I know that basically businesses don't have all these moralities, and especially when it comes to boxing, all these moralities in place. What are you doing to protect your money
Yeah.
when you have a star boxer that basically is out here acting erratic? What are you doing to even protect your money? Let's speak in your language, business. Let's speak in your language, capitalism. What are you doing to protect your money? And it doesn't look like you are doing anything to protect your money when it comes to this guy and his behavior. He's having a hard time when it comes to life. And Nate has been saying it, and Nate's been spot on with everything he's been saying. What have you like? He's been having these behavioral issues. He's been having these things. Everybody has been poo-pooing and saying, "Hey, this guy's just acting out. This guy's doing all these things." What are you doing? How are you trying to keep him at bay? And yes, he is an adult, can't do everything, but he's been doing every time it seems like he's on TV, he's doing something unordinary, out of the normal, just something very like weird, whether it's smoking with a orangutan, berating people at a blackjack table with Jimmy Butler. Like it's just all weird shit. What are you doing to help this man get better? I don't see that. And just basically saying, hey, you're expelled, which I never knew that was the case. You never knew that could happen. Just feels like you're trying to throw out the baby with the bathwater and not necessarily trying to clean
Yeah.
the actual baby.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing?
And in retrospect, just so you guys can understand, I want a lot of you people to think right before I get off of this. He's 25.
Yep.
You were not perfect at 25, and you knew you were
Not
just
even remote.
beginning to grasp being an adult in your 20s, okay? So don't
Yep.
come at me, oh, he should know, no, no. Because he's making a lot of money and people are surrounding him, and there's nothing in place for them. You guys have this council. Now, as a council, you need to have something to help boxers. This is the time
Yep.
to get off your ass. All of this money is passed back and forth. Make it happen. Try to make this happen and do the right thing. Don't let people suffer because of you wanting to treat people as cattle with no personality or people that's just a nothing shell behind it, and we move on to the next person, because
Yep.
not protecting your investment is going to hurt you in the long run. No matter how you guys look at that, it will hurt you in the long run. Now,
Yep.
with that, we're going to switch from the boxing ring to the baseball diamond. So, Rob has a team that he just doesn't believe in right now. Like, he just doesn't believe in. I'm gonna let you go ahead and say this, and I'm gonna preference this before. This team is in the American League Central and is ahead in the American League Central at 55-32. Okay,
Okay.
Rob, go ahead and tell the people why you don't like the Guardians or why you don't believe in
So,
them.
it's I would say this. This is a team effort when it comes to not believing in the Guardians, and I think I understand why. Because for one, I was kind of doing a few deep dives. I haven't watched a ton of Guardians games. I will preface that with all of this. So I'm a Cardinals fan. That's been my main focus this year. I've been watching in and out of other games, but haven't paid too much attention to the Guardians. but I think there's a reason why,
Okay.
and part of it is because when it comes to Cleveland sports, for example, we inherently don't believe it. Granted, the Cavs won, that's fine, but we don't inherently believe in Cleveland sports. There's number two. When it comes to this Guardians team, there isn't a bopper on there. So like, granted, you got guys that can hit for you guys that have hit for power, but you don't have that hulking like Aaron Judge. You don't have that Giancarlo Stanton. You don't have that Ellie Dela Cruz. You don't have that exciting big dude, the O'Neal Cruz. You don't have the Jordan Alvarez. You don't have that hulking like figure that's out there. You got Jose Reyes that's like 5'6". You got, Stephen Kwan, who's not 5'6", but just not somebody that is a household name. Granted, first time All-Star. And has been very good since he's basically been in the league. But you don't have like that figure, that star figure that you can really believe in and be like, this is this team's top person. So like Shane Bieber, like hurt very early, never had a chance to basically do anything with this team. Like you don't have that star that's there. I mean, granted, you got Emmanuel Clase, who's fucking lethal as a closer.
Yeah.
Like just basically just a straight killer. But he's a closer. He comes in when in a very specific situation. So when it comes to basically that everyday player, you don't have a ton of people with star power. And I think that's part of the reason why. Like they have a great run differential. They have a great, record. They were like the number one seed like not too long ago, for a little minute. Like this is a team that is a great team, but I think they're not getting enough. I don't think they're getting much love because of Cleveland, because of lack of stars. Even though Jose Ramirez is a star, he's been a star, but he hasn't been that top star that people look at and it's like, oh shit, like a Francisco Lindor, for example,
Yeah.
like somebody that people at least can say like, oh shit, I know that guy, I've heard of that guy. Jose Ramirez has been absolutely killing it for the last shit like 6-7 years
Yeah.
at least. Like but he's not a household name, and Cleveland and the Guardians do not have that household name to really look back to. Like we talked about Josh Naylor, we talked about other players that are on this team before. It's just they don't just have just that star, and so I don't know what it's going to take for people to basically do that. Because granted, you got the Yankees that are still like, even though I think they said they lost what 14 of the last 19. Like they've been on a skid, even though they're like the number 4 team in the AL. Like this is a team that basically people believe in because they at least have Aaron Judge, former MVP.
Yeah.
Like the Astros are coming up. People believe in them because they got a Jordan Alvarez. The Baltimore Orioles is a team that people believe in because they got a Gutter Henderson, Adley Russman, and other players. Like they have those household names. Guardians just don't have that for whatever reason. And so it's not going. They're gonna have to do something in the playoffs, and that's another thing. The Guardians will have a nice record and then bomb out in the playoffs because they're the Guardians, and it's just what happens. And so they're gonna have to really show out in the playoffs for them to actually get some respect, for Jose Ramirez to actually get the credit that he deserves, even though he got named as an All-Star starter.
Yep.
But it's just confounding, dog. Like it's like I don't know what else to really say about it. It's just they're just not there,
So tell me this.
and that's what it is.
Are we going on this being the fact that they don't have the big name or nobody's made the big name, or we're looking for the big name, or are we going on Cleveland always messes up even if they get to the playoffs?
The answer is yes. like it's all the above, because it's hard to basically, like, one of the things I've been learning or I've been seeing when it comes to a lot of different things, whether it's people that still listen to R. Kelly, or I'm not saying this anything against it, but like people that you have people that have done things that they've been held accountable for, or something that's really
Yeah.
bad, that is a lasting image, it's hard as fuck to defeat a memory. And when it comes to the Cleveland Guardians and like their history, whether you go back to when they were the Cleveland Indians or whatever it may be, um, you can't beat that memory. Like it's hard as hell to overcome and beat that memory of them, and they're continuously losing, especially in the playoffs on big times, like Jabba Chamberlain basically, throwing, or them having to deal with those bugs like that one playoffs. Like they you just can't defeat a memory. It's hard as hell to defeat a memory. And when it comes to them, they just have a lot of memories of losing. Hell, they just the 2016 World Series. Like they just have so many memories of them losing that it's hard for people to overcome and actually believe that they can beat a Yankees, beat a Orioles, beat whoever else that's basically in the standings. Like it's hard just to be that. And that's it's gonna be something for them to overcome. I'll say that.
Okay, so quick fact check on Cleveland because I had to go and look. Cleveland best season in recent years since they've been Guardians. We're looking at that would be coming into, I guess you would say, the finish right now. They're 55-32,
Mm,
right? So outside of that, the best season that they ever had was 54. They had 111 wins and 43 losses. That was 1954.
mm,
Long, bro. My dad was just no. Yeah, my dad was 4 and my mom was like 1. Okay,
mm,
you've had another 100 win in 95. You had 98 wins in 1920. In 2017, you did win 102 games. You won 102 then. So
mm.
do we just think that they're not going to get there because they fail every year, even whenever they had these high count wins? Is it the curse of Cleveland? You know, is that what it is? Because LeBron finally
Mm.
won one. Now, granted,
Yeah,
now granted, a lot of shit had to go his way in the back stretch of that one. Like,
true.
I will say this, and it's gonna be some of y'all gonna call me a hater, but I'm gonna point out the facts. Okay, fact. Draymond got suspended at the most important time for the Warriors. Okay, which I don't think that we've seen a suspension happen in the finals that was more detrimental to a team than that. Okay, it led to just an implosion. Steph getting called a foul at the wrong time whenever they making a come. It was a bunch of stuff. Okay, so is Cleveland going to need something like that to get to a World Series? Because it's more than 7 games down the stretch. Because NBA, yeah, you got a few rounds, but I think Cleveland would have to come out number one, get a bye, and then win out from there on. And they're gonna have to get the right run of teams too. I feel like they're gonna need the right run of teams to make this happen. That's just my opinion. I don't feel like Cleveland has I'm gonna say the best pitching rotation. Like you do have a bona
Mm.
fide closer in Clause. You got a bona fide closer. Even though like every time I see his name, I think barbecue chicken because on MLB the show, I light him up when people bring out Emmanuel Clause.
Damn.
I'll wait for y'all to bring him out. I'm like, oh, you bringing him out? Oh, I'm about to tee him up. But that's just me. Do I think it's possible for them to win? Probably not. Because it's clear. I can't lie, Rob. It's just something
Yeah,
about Cleveland being Cleveland. It's just something about
yeah.
Cleveland being Cleveland. Maybe we need to rename like the whole area. Maybe we give it
Just
a new
like
name.
new city name.
Yeah. Maybe
I
this
don't know,
might
cause
work.
like, go ahead.
I don't know, Rob. Maybe a new city name. Just change it. Just change it. Just try something different. At least for a year or
Like,
two.
like, like, put something on. Just wear it around for a little bit.
Just so. If it don't work, we'll go back to Cleveland. But right now, let's kind of leave it be. Let's kind of go somewhere else with this. We'll go somewhere else with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. See
Yeah.
maybe if this
Like
changes how this works.
yeah, just see what other people say about it, just kind of
Yeah.
fact check it, just kind of do something with it,
Anything. Anything but what we're doing right now. And that's no hate to you guys in Cleveland. It's just kind of facts. It just is what it is with Cleveland. I don't know what it is. Maybe you know what? Y'all need to call the Pope in from the Vatican and just let him bless the whole city, and then we might see
Yeah,
results. Might see more results because we you did get
something.
an NBA championship, but like I said, the best series of unfortunate events at the right time to get this done. Okay, but moving on. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to free agency, what's been going on in free agency in the NBA, but I have a theory, and I wanted to bring this to you, Rob.
But
There has been a love loss with the Los Angeles Lakers, not the
mm,
city of Los Angeles, because I'm going to use this as an example, and then I'm going to reel it in on why I say this. I feel like LeBron has an anti-deterrent to a certain extent of why he can't get players. Okay. Whenever free agency kicked off years ago, whenever Kawhi and PG wound up going to the Clippers, and then James Harden wound up a Clipper in a trade, and Westbrook was a Laker, but then he wound up a Clipper. I feel like there's a love loss in Los Angeles.
mm,
I don't know if it's Rob Pelinka. I don't know if it has to do with Jeannie Buss. I don't know if it has to do with it being a LeBron thing. But the Lakers have this huge love loss of what's going on. And I don't know if they can rekindle what's going on right now. They're failing. They're failing every move to get somebody there. And as I'm always say, LeBron is probably going to go down as the second greatest of all time because he's the NBA's Iron Man behind the first NBA Iron Man of Kareem, came out 21, did it all these years. LeBron is going to beat him in years. He has the points record now. Everything else, some people are calling him the greatest of all times. It's all up to speculation how you want to weigh this out. But I've been looking at this, and it looks like every way they turn, they fail to get a free agent. Paul George goes to Philly. Okay,
mhm.
so he leaves the West Coast to go to Philly. He leaves La La Land for Philly cheesesteaks, which Philly cheesesteaks are pretty banging. Not even gonna lie. Um, then you look at Westbrook's looking at a trade to go somewhere else. Possibly he's going to end up in Denver somewhere. Um, the Clippers keep James Harden. I think Kawhi is going to stay because I want to say he got another year or two left, or he's just going to opt in. Zach Levine's not in the picture right now.
Mm,
Every theory that I see people come up with has to do with this wild trade that they want to put together to make something happen for the Lakers. And I don't mean just regular wild. I mean like I saw literally like a 3-team player swap with picks to try to get LeBron. I think they were going to give up Austin Reeves. D'Lo was going to have to go.
mm.
Um, it was something ridiculous to get another person there. And as I keep looking at it, I'm like, it's either LeBron or nobody wants to be a Laker. Okay,
Mm.
so if you had to look at it, is it LeBron or nobody wants to be a Laker? Or is it the
Hmm.
expectations of going there with LeBron is the issue?
So I don't think it's LeBron. It's like it could be because I know like when it comes to LeBron, I know the thing people always say is if anything happens, it's your fault,
Yeah,
not LeBron's fault, your fault. And so that could be the case, but I'm thinking like it, what the going like the winning formula that was tried and true when it came to LeBron was put pieces around him, don't have a Warriors team that is stellar, and you'll be fine. So like a DeRozan, like why? Because one of the things I will say about when it comes to the free agents in particular, like say Paul George, DeMar DeRozan, the cats that's from LA,
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, even for that matter, they don't seem to want anything to do with the Lakers. Or they do, and then it just doesn't happen that way. Because like when it came to Paul George, like Paul George got traded from the Thunder um to the Clippers.
Yep.
But once he hit free agency and could basically have some autonomy on where he wants to go, said I would rather go to Philly, which is a team that is not really that. I mean, it's solid, but is a team that seems to always have something go wrong, whether that is um, injuries or whatever. And their roster isn't well constructed either. So like
Which they
you
are
got
correcting it. They are correct. I won't lie. They're correcting it
okay.
right now. They're definitely correcting their roster right now. But
I mean, with Eric Gordon, and what else?
let's see.
What?
You got Eric Gordon. You've picked up Paul George. You signed Tyrese Maxey again. It was another move that they made. That I was like, okay, that's a good move.
Oubre,
Yeah,
Kelly,
Oubre.
Caleb
Yeah,
Martin.
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
they're making moves, and then
yeah.
right now they're they're talking about trying to get Caleb Martin there too.
They got Caleb Martin,
Well, there you go. The,
which which that one's still fucking crazy because Caleb Martin took way less money to go to there than stay with the Heat. So less money and a non-fifth year, or no, with the fifth. No, because this is whatever. Either way, Caleb Martin took less money to go to the Sixers than stay with the Heat.
yeah,
So, but yeah, like that. To your point, yes, I'm wrong. They did help themselves, and they do have a good enough roster for what they already got. But it's still to the point of he basically was like, I do not want to play in LA or with LeBron, for example.
yeah.
I do not want to play in. Well, basically said I don't want to play with the Clippers anymore either. But he said I do not want to play with LeBron. Why are these people saying no to the Lakers? I don't know if it's going. I don't know if it's going to get better after LeBron leaves. Not even if Bronny is or isn't there, because it is to the point of maybe it's something about less money. Like maybe it's something to where they're like, okay, the Lakers are literally a mom and pop organization. They're like the Chiefs. Their whole money is coming from the Lakers and whatever money that they make. They don't have any outside ventures. They're not somebody that owns Walmart or Target or something like that.
Yeah.
They own the Lakers and that's what they own. So it might be money, but yeah, it's something where people aren't going to the Lakers. And yeah, I don't completely understand it either.
I don't, and it's befuddled me because I don't know how they can ever solve this because you keep losing. DeRozan came to California, but he went to Sacramento.
Yeah,
This is a guy who, if I'm not mistaken, he came from Compton. He was a
yeah.
LA kid. So
He was just in a Not Like Us video.
yeah. So like, okay, he comes back to LA, but not to. And I'm gonna say this. I know somebody's gonna hate me saying this. I'm gonna always blame this on LeBron not wanting to be a part of a system because nobody knows what to put around him or what's going to satisfy him if you knew what he needed in a system to be successful. Which to me, it's always been obvious. You got to put a bunch of shooters that can defend around him and let him rim
Hmm.
run because LeBron isn't a strong shooter. Like, no
Yep.
matter how we try to put this, LeBron's best gift is I pass really well, I see the floor, I'm pretty good on defense at times, but me being the most is me not shooting threes and me getting downhill. And the best way to get downhill is if people aren't in the paint.
Yep.
And I promise you, I feel like if they would have stuck by that a million times, LeBron could have probably won 6 or 7. But it's
Mm.
always something with him. They don't have this person, or they don't have this in the right situation, or they're not hitting this, or you got a
Mhm.
teammate like Anthony Davis who stay getting his ass hurt. The Mr. Always Dinged, or AKA Street Clothes. And that's what you live with. You wanted him so bad, and now he's there. We've made this turn one time, and ever since that, we've been out, out, out. And the other thing I see is, like you did say, if we don't win, it's everybody else's fault except LeBron. But I also see this. Nobody wants to be a part of that coaching carousel. It's a coaching carousel no matter where LeBron go, except for Miami. And that's because
Yeah.
Pat Riley stuck to his guns on who his coach was, and LeBron said, "Well, I'll leave."
Yeah.
And I,
Absolutely.
I don't I look, Pat Riley, I gotta give hats off to you because you did the one thing that none of these other owners were willing to do. And you were like, I'll let him walk because I know what I got as a coach is more valuable to me. Which they've been back to the finals since then.
Hmm.
They've made a finals and they've made multiple playoff runs and they've stayed relevant. So he has a point with what he's done with Eric Spoelstra, and he stuck to his guns with Eric Spoelstra. And I don't know if organizations see it or they just see the name and they think all of the money. It has to be that. I
Yeah.
think I think we put too much weight on LeBron's name, and then whenever coaches come in there, coach is the first person gone because LeBron will be like, "Well, he's not doing this right." But then
Yeah.
I look at LeBron and I feel like you get these guys who don't have the most pull, so you can kind of interject whatever you think. And because if you think about it, outside of sports, he's never had a coach who was, I must say, personality dominant. Mike Brown was there at one point whenever he won MVP and they were like number one in the West, but that was like a younger Mike Brown. But Mike Brown didn't really come back and coach anybody. He started coaching the Kings a few years ago. He's had Vogel. Vogel was a guy who had teams that weren't that good. He had the Indiana team that challenged Brown twice going to the finals. Um, he's had Darvin Ham. He's had these guys I feel like that let him be able to coach without really saying he got a coach. You know, it's late. It's too late. I guess because
Hmm.
he's done what he's done, it's too late, and I guess you just gotta let him do what he's gonna do. Tyronn Lue, he's had that one. He's had too many coaches. I feel like he's gotten rid of here and there, and he's been able to influence that. But I think part of it is gonna be expectation. Part of it is the Lakers, and I don't think Rob Pelinka. I don't think Rob Pelinka as a person is going to be able to make the moves that he really wants to make without there being some intrusion from Rich Paul and Clutch Sports and LeBron them looking over their shoulder like what you over there doing.
Hmm.
I feel like that's going to hurt them. And whenever LeBron retires, if he retires a Laker, I think that's whenever we'll see the best version of what maybe Palinka is possibly able to do if he can do something after that, or if he can rebuild anything after that. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell how this works out, depending upon where LeBron decides to retire from. Now, to wrap up our show, we're going to talk MLB All Star and All Star reserves. Well, what's coming of All Star reserves. We don't know if you guys pay attention. You've seen, people who are out there. American League starters, Adley Rutschman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jose Altuve, Jose Ramirez, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Stephen Kwan, Jordan Alvarez is there. And then National League side, you got William Contreras, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, one of my favorite switch hitters. Alec Bohm, Trey Turner, Christian Yelich. You got Fernando Tatis Jr., Jurickson Profar, and Shohei Ohtani, who we're gonna probably still say is in run for Triple Crown. We just gotta throw that one out there for y'all. You gotta keep it real with you. The man is a monster hit. He's monster he was monster on the pitching mound. He's monster hitting. He's showing you how good the bat is. But me and Rob were discussing, as people who watch baseball, and we want you guys' opinion. Is this one of the years that the starters and the reserves will be very, very good? Seeing as, like me and Rob were saying, you got Shohei as the starting DH, but you could have easily had, like, I want to say we said Rafael Devers was there.
For
No,
the
no, no,
National League,
no, 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 no. It
it'd
was
be
Marcell Ozuna.
right.
It was Marcell Ozuna. Sorry, wrong league. But Marcell Ozuna, tremendous year. Okay, tremendous year in Atlanta right now. But he's behind Shohei Ohtani.
Who's having the craziest year coming off of Tommy John surgery.
Yes. And it kills me because, we as fans vote in, I'm not gonna lie, I threw a vote in there for Shohei. Look, don't be mad with me, Marcel. I watched the Braves, but don't be mad, bro.
He'd be all right.
Goddamn Shohei.
He'd be all right.
But
With the Braves.
But Boy Visky wouldn't like that. but it's one of these years where I look at it and
I love you, Biscuit.
Yeah, we do love you, Biscuit. But starters are starters this year, and the reserves are gonna be pretty damn nice. The reserves have to be nice because there's so many guys that we think that didn't make it, and it's like, okay, this has to be one of the years where whenever we're gonna look at the reserves, we're gonna say, you know what, some of these guys could have been starting too.
Yep.
Like they could have been starting.
Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah. Bobby Witt Jr. is an MVP candidate and is a reserve because Gunnar Henderson is also an MVP candidate. It's like you have some people having excellent years and they're getting beat out by people that having phenomenal years. And that's the thing about this year that's like, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like that's the thing about this year that's just crazy. It's so much talent. It's so much talent.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. I feel like this is one of the most talented years we've seen in baseball.
Dude.
Profar emerging. You've got people like Ellie. Okay. O'Neal. The Cruz. O'Neal Cruz is out there. You have so many people across teams. And I just want some of y'all to think about this. Look where Bobby Witt Jr. plays. Let's just be real. Bobby Witt Jr. right now, you playing for a team that I don't know. Let's see, because I don't want to lie to you.
Are you talking about who he plays for?
No, I know he plays for the Royals. I'm trying to pull a record real quick.
Oh, they're like right outside the wild card.
So look,
like they're like that second position outside the wild card.
So you got a team that's wild card berthing, okay? But you're in the same division with Gunnar Henderson. You're in the same division still with Aaron Judge, okay? You're still in the same division with multiple guys who could have an MVP season, okay? Your team just happens to be middling because it's that many people having good seasons. which is kind of ridiculous because you're looking at a guy, Bobby Witt Jr., speed, good power, great contact, great fielding, everything. Okay.
Mm.
He's a Kansas City Royal. Okay. Which right now is way better than being an Oakland Athletic. I'm sorry, Oakland. I can't pass the chance
Just
that
that was
I can't pass the
unnecessary.
chance, Rob. But you're on a team that's middling, that's fighting for wild card. Okay, and you're on a decent team. Hunter Renfroe, Freddie Fermin is out there. Um, you're looking at Vinny Pasquantino. Yeah, he's there.
Pascatino.
Yeah, Pasquantino. You've got a team that's nice, but they can't do enough because of how good everybody else is. Granted, MVP type season, not enough. Just not enough in that division. Just not enough in that conference. Just you can't get enough. I don't know, Rob. I'm kind of willing to go out on a limb and say right now, I'm not gonna say we're in the golden age of baseball. I'm not gonna say that because I feel like then I'm gonna have to fight a few people 70, 80 years old, and I don't want to go to jail for pushing people over, giving out broken hips and whatnot. But
Send them to Jesus faster.
but I feel like we're in probably one of the best eras of baseball talent wise that we're gonna see. And I feel like the
Yeah.
talent is getting better too. And you're talking to two dudes who were here for the home run race, okay? Yeah,
Mhm.
we might have not been here for like the 80s, but we've watched and we saw a lot. But from the 90s to the 2000s to now, and then for them to give us a pitching clock, they're trying to make baseball more watchable, they're trying to condense the games to a certain extent. I gotta say, I love it all. Okay? Because I was talking with my uncle the other day, and he was like, how you like it now that they got the pitching clock? And I was like, I feel like it helps manage the game, you know? And he was like, yeah. He said, because last time I went out and he was talking about before they put the pitching clock in. He was like, I went to a game. He said, man, he's saying it was like you had pitchers that would just stand there. He said it was like they were buying time. He was like, I'm buying time, I'm buying time. And he was like, no, he said, I can sit here, I can watch a game. He said, I pitcher in pitcher and get this and golf going at the same time and stuff. And Uncle say, I'm putting more work this TV today. But I feel like now, due to all of the rule changes and things that we've seen and the improvement and velocity and break and everything that these guys bring, man, I feel like we're you know what I'm gonna say it. Golden age baseball, damn it. You can fight me if you want on that one. I just enjoy watching it, man. I really enjoy watching it now, and not maybe everybody agree with that, but just take a look in like the National League, like look in the National League right now. You only have two
Mm.
teams with 30 with under 40 wins right now. Only two. Every other team has 40 wins or better right now. That means that you're
Mm.
like in super competitive baseball. Okay. Granted, one of those teams is the Marlins and the other one is the Rockies. You know, I just feel like the Marlins have issues that they can't resolve right now.
I mean, their whole rotation is hurt
Yeah,
and been hurt all season.
yeah. You can't win if you can't pitch good. You just can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. It just doesn't help. Like, so outside of those two, and then we'll look National League side. We'll look American League side. You know, the White Sox and the Athletics, but come on now. Y'all know about the White Sox. Like, come on. Come, just be real, bro. The White Sox are just the White Sox. Like, they're the White Sox. That's it.
They're bad.
Yeah, they're horribly bad right now with 26 games. Which Athletics, I will tell you that you have a notch up on them because you're at 34 games. They're at 26 games. A win is a
The
win is a win.
athletics are actually pretty good. They just don't have the talent, but
They don't have enough talent.
they've been better than what their record says they are.
Yeah, they don't have enough talent. Like I said,
No.
you competing with the Athletics. So, for example, they beat Baltimore. That's yesterday, 19-8. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that was peak Athletics. Okay, that was peak Athletics. Okay. Now, with that being said, they're a young team. They still got to get it together. Can it happen? Yes. Do I think it'll happen before the White Sox? Probably so. Probably so. Oakland, take better care of your team and your stadium and invest the money into these guys. Or let them move somewhere else. Choice is yours. But like I said, I feel like this is the best. We'll see. But I'm going to call it probably one of the golden ages of baseball right now. I enjoy watching. It's so much to watch. If you guys don't have like the MLB pass, get it, make the investment, watch some games.
Unless MLB wants to basically have their blackout rules and basically say you can't get every game. Yeah, I've been talking to you, MLB. You and your bullshit. Like you have like somebody that's had MLB TV or MLB package or at bat for years that basically can't watch every game because, oh, well, this game's blacked out. Well, I can't watch this one, or I can't watch this one. Yeah, I can't watch these fucking games. Like, I can't watch all the games I want to see. If I want to watch a fucking Orioles game, even though I'm 4 hours away, I got to basically get something else to basically watch that because I can't watch it on the app that I have that basically told me I could watch every out of market game. Or I guess that doesn't. I guess I'm in the market when I'm a state away. Like, the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off.
I know. I feel you. I feel you because it is. I'm not gonna say false advertising, but it's bad advertising.
It's bullshit.
Yes,
at the very least, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it really is. And we'd love if y'all actually stuck to it and gave us every game. I could give a damn about that local cable provider that's trying to hold on to the game. You just make sure you had a game that I paid the $100 and some for this season of this. Just make sure you give me that. That's all I want. I want to be able to flip.
Give me what I want.
Yeah, I want to be able to see every game because if I can see every game, then I can't complain. I just can't complain, and I won't complain. Same thing with everybody else. Yeah, just give me what I want. But we've definitely held y'all a long time today. And
thank you for staying.
Yeah, definitely thank you for staying because we had to definitely go in on our wrestling and then we had to finish up on everything else. But with that being said, I'm Price. You know, it's Rob, Bro Amigos Podcast. Rob, go ahead and take us out real quick.
Good night, Canada. Good night, Taylor Swift. We'll see tonight. Angel Reese gonna be playing the Storm. See if she get the double record. She's had it for 12 straight games. I think this would be the 13th.
Yeah,
I haven't seen too much about it, so I don't know if she actually already busted the streak. But if it is the case, she might get number 13 tonight. I know she's already got the single season record because Candace Parker, who had the old record, basically did it over 2 seasons. So she's got it as a rookie. I say she's the WNBA MVP. I mean, not MVP. Rookie of the year. Even though Caitlin Clark just got her the first triple-double as a rookie in WNBA history. I would say, yeah, she's the MVP. Or MVP. She's Angel Reese is the rookie of the year in my mind, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. It's gonna be up in the air between her and Caitlin Clark. I'm very interested to see how this is gonna play out. So we will see. We will see. But with that being said, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bro Amigos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.